Right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to another week and another edition of the London Sessions. Without further ado, guys, time to get this show on the road. So as always, good morning, good afternoon, a very good evening, no matter where you are around the world. Welcome to another edition of the London Session. Once again, looking forward to seeing what we can come up with moving forward here today. Obviously, my focus will be on the gold, and as per usual, I will have a look at GJ, GU, any other pairs as per request. You guys know the drill. If you could, don't forget TikTok. Make sure to smash that little screen for me. Let's get the masses onto the stream and YouTube. Please don't forget to hit the like button, like so. Just smash that like button quickly. And any charts, any questions, anything, just any general chat, feel free to type that into chat and I'll get to you guys shortly. In the meantime, let's do what we're all here for. Let's have a look at the charts and let's see what we can come up with moving forward here today on the gold. First of all, let's have a look at the news, see if there is anything of any sort of impact scheduled for our session here today. As we can see, nothing scheduled. Let's have a look moving forward into the MY session this evening, my time. Got Empire State Manufacturing Index, which may be considered more high impact on maybe some other news providers, but nothing that should have a major impact. But again, anything could break at any point in time. Also, the Senate back in. I think they're now back in Parliament. So the government's sitting again in the US, I believe. So that, again, anything could happen on the back of that. So just be wary of the news, guys. But anyway, let's get into it and let's have a look at the gold. Just make sure I'm not on mute on YouTube. That's all good. I'm not. And let's start with that weekly time frame to begin. And what we can see is previous weekly, so it did not create that low wick, but it, excuse the dog in the background if you can hear it. Let's just remove this from YouTube. But we did obviously reject towards the end of the week. Big rejection on that previous the last daily candle, which closed it back a weak bullish candle. So what that suggests to me is we've kind of grabbed some upside liquidity, and if we were to break the low of that candle, I do believe there's a high probability of us of potentially pulling back further. At that point, we're going to be also back below that 4K region. It lines up perfectly with that psychological round number, which we continue to close above. We begin to break it. I do believe that there is, again, a high probability that we could make a deeper pullback on the gold, and that could potentially trigger us into a more of a bearish bias for the short-term perspective. Looking at the daily, dog going crazy in the background. Looking at the daily, previous daily, as we can see, closed back strong bearish. So we have created that lower high scenario within the structure itself. However, technically speaking, I still believe the structure is bullish here. But looking at the candles themselves, seeing we are just scalping, they are, if we break the low of the previous candle, we do have the candle probabilities being to the downside. The previous candle did close back strong bearish. So again, based off this, the candle formations itself, the previous and the current, I do believe there could be more potential to come back down a little bit further. We're also going to mark in the current daily candles high low, and we're seeing obviously we're pulling back towards low, and we've just created recently low today. We have created obviously some minor resistance up at the high of the day. So if we were to continue bearish, there would not be much of a need for us to pop back up and break through that resistance. And if we do so, that could potentially lead to a deeper rebound back towards the upside. So we'll mark that level in and we'll see what we've got above it. Onto the 4 hour here. And we can see structurally we are bearish. That is a definite here on the 4 hour. We are bearish. Did confirm a structure flip last week, towards the end of last week. So bearish, have we tapped into a level? Well, there is room for it to come back down to that 4K, personally, in my opinion. We kind of tapped into some previous resistance here to the left, but we've wiped through that on this move to the upside. So for me, the focus would be that 4K region to the downside. Not going to mark it in, seeing we are quite a distance off for the time being. I'm marking a minor time, well, a level on the minor time frame. Marking that's the most recent level of resistance on the 4 hour. Now let's make our way down to the M15 here. All right, let's see if we need to adjust this at all. I will adjust it slightly to the upside here to incorporate that resistance to the left there. it's much cleaner once you begin to pop above that point. All right, as for a downside, we're going to mark in a level just here, and obviously we can see we literally just tapped into it and bounced off it. So these levels are they're like magnets. Price is often drawn to these 4-hour levels where it'll just tap in and either reject, create a lower high, and begin to come back down. And the more it retests this level with that sort of scenario where it creates what they call in the crypto terms, I think the dead cat bounce, the more it creates this sort of scenario here, the more likely it will eventually begin to break to the downside. So as far as the 15-minute levels in between, we'll mark them in. However, I'm marking in more for potential downside, to be honest, upon a rejection of these levels. So the plan for me on the gold today is going to remove this for the time being. I would preference the sells. The 15 minutes also bearish. The overall bias is bearish. It's very bearish. The only thing other than the bias itself, what would give me some sort of reason to look for buys in regards to short-term perspective is the fact that weekly closed back bullish. So off the back of that, I'm not discounting the buys, and personally speaking, I am extremely bullish on gold the long term. But just training rise for the short term, I would preference the sells for the time being. So what I'd be looking at for the sells, guys, is either the first option, price pulling back, preferably higher up towards that 4,085 sort of region again. See if we do reject the most recent resistance formed in the current daily candle, where we could in fact look for a potential opportunity to take a sell upon that pullback. So we'll be looking for sells upon the pullback. Now, further sell options, we may consider some further sell options well below that point there. I don't quite have a catalyst just yet, even though this 15 appears to be potentially closing bearish. It's just a weak bearish candle. There is very little volume at the minute. Further potential options on the gold is definitely going to be below that previous daily candle's low. If price was to begin to pop below that point there, we are running into some clean traffic, and I do believe 4K would be on the cards as a potential destination. So we'd definitely be considering the sells below. Further sell options, if we in fact did sweep the highs of the Asian session, it's obviously being current highs of the Asian session, and if we were only to reject the 4-hour resistance just above that point there, then I would also be looking for my potential sell options from a little bit higher up. Actually, we won't bother with that for the time being. We'll just remove that, seeing we are quite a distance off it, but I would definitely look at that. As far as the buys, now just remove these arrows. So again, we have the weekly closing back bullish. Perhaps we are just creating that low wick within the current weekly candle, and potentially we still could fill that wick on the weekly in order to pick up on those leftover orders and potentially break above that weekly candle's high and continue bullish. So the scenario for the buys would be if price was to respect this 4-hour level yet again and provide a bit of a price action signal from that point, I would not discount the buy options from the support around that 4,050 sort of region, guys. If we want to be back above that 4-hour support, and if we do trigger in the buys at that point there, again, could look for a buy, even if it is just a short-lived buy, in order to create a sell option, if that makes sense. Like buy to look for a sell. So if it does pop back down just here, I'm not interested in selling it from the current level, and pops back down, it gives me a potential buy option. Could look for the buys to take it back up to a level where we could plan for potential sells, maybe later into the day, maybe into MY session. That could be the potential scenario you could be looking at. So that is currently my personal opinion on the gold, guys. Make of that what you will, but as I always mention, what you need to do for me, don't forget, please, YouTube, smash the like button, TikTok, hit that little screen for me. And that is the gold. Now let's quickly have a look at GJ. I have marked up the chart prior to the stream. It's just consolidating at the minute. The bias on GJ, I believe, is to the downside. Let's quickly look at it. The weekly, actually, I could be wrong here. Could be GU I was thinking of. Strong bullish closure on the weekly. So normally at the back of that, I'd be looking to levels within this candle itself. Normally what I'd be doing is marking a 50%, and I want to see price respect that level. With, let's see, it's that 202, so around that 203 flat. Let's just see, let's remove the drawings. Have we tapped into it? Not quite, but close to it. So why I like to draw in that level is just to see there's a potential level price could pull back to grab some liquidity from against that previous weekly candle, form support at, and then begin to head back up. We've done it just above that point so far. Onto the daily. Very choppy price action here in the daily. We did reject the resistance here to the left hand side. Structurally it is bullish in my opinion, but it is at a strong level of resistance. The current daily, not much of an upper wick. Onto the 4-hour time frame. Ugly price action here. Normally when I see a chart like this, I just flick over to the next one. Would not be interested. It is just consolidating on GJ, and GJ when it consolidates, it's just you stay well away from it, allow it to create a move, and then you look to pick up the pieces once it's decided what direction it wants to move in. Let's bring up the drawings again, back onto the 15, and we can see actually what was the structure here on 4-hour. 4-hour is technically speaking, it's bullish. Just held on. Minor time frame is also technically speaking bullish, so the bias is bullish, but it's just a mess. So allow it to create a move. I would look for sells below 203 150, sells from back above that resistance at 203 60, and preference buys from lower down. To be honest, it's just in consolidation, allowed to create that move, and then if it pops back down towards that 280, we have opportunities to buy it from there. Last but not least, GU, chart I sent into the members group prior to the streams, just pulling back now, so I could just adjust this. Bias on GU is bearish, and I would be looking for a pullback sell. Be looking for a pullback sell from the current level, basically 103 550. If it pops up to that point, and for me that would be a definite option to look for a sell to take back down towards the current daily candles low. Yeah, for me the bias would be very bearish on GU. Previous weekly closed back weak bullish, but other than that, you've got bearish structure in the daily. You've got, technically speaking, bullish structure on the 4-hour here. I just prefer the downside, to be honest, just the levels we're currently at. Yeah, my opinion of it, don't touch it. I never trade it. That's what I'd be looking at. Oh, the gold. Could there be a little potential buy option on the next day of 15? We have 12 minutes remaining though, so we'll see how this candle closes, because this is could present on the interruption entry, guys. So we've had a pause after tapping into the resistance. We're triggered in some sellers. We could be wiping those sellers out, that bullish engulfing candle. That could almost be enough for us to look for a buy, or what I mentioned before, look for that buy to take it up to look for a potential sell moving forward. So we'll have keep an eye out on gold, guys. Got 11.5 minutes remaining in this candle, plenty of time. In the meantime, let me say g'day to YouTube and TikTok. Franco, g'day to you. Lau, good morning. Peter, afternoon to you, mate. Sketchmas, hope you're well. KWS Multimedia, today's my day, need to make some dollars. Nice if we all made some dollars. But man, appreciate it. Abdul, what indicator you use? Show the sell zone. Indicator is just, it's not an indicator, mate. It's just a horizontal. Yeah, that's all it is. It's in the tools to the left here on TradingView. TikTok, Sebastian, thank you for the sticker, mate. Let me have a look. If I've missed anything in the chat, welcome to you all on TikTok. Don't forget to smash that screen, follow, have a watch of the first training or fitness related upload today of bicep exercise, which I believe is a real good one to pump the biceps, and it's not your stock standard curl, so it's a little bit different. So if you're into your fitness and that, make sure to have a watch of that on the TikTok profile. Lockie, what's good? G'day to you, mate. Hope you're well. Yo, B, buy, sell, right? Yes, I would prefer to sells, but I'm not gonna discount the buy options. I would still consider buys as well. Michael, g'day to you. M sold at 4,100. Nice work. Very well done. Just missed the dude, bearish. Sebastian, today TikTok, but I will leave like YouTube stream. I'm on vacation, so have, oh, nice one, brother. Anyway, fantastic. I appreciate you, mate. Appreciate you. The YouTube member, do appreciate you, my friend. And enjoy your vacation, mate. Don't worry about the charts and all that. It's hard not to, but it's also good to have a little break from it sometimes. Edits by Vishon. It's the same way I mark my market, bro. Nice one. Okay, EU, same as GU, without even looking at it. It basically is just pulling back. I'll be looking for sales from the current level. Looks cleaner than the GU actually. Yeah, I'd definitely be looking for rejection sells, and before looking for buys above that level, seeing it's come from the daily low, I'd want to see some sellers step into the market, close back at least the bearish candle, wipe those sellers out, trap the sellers, and will likely retest the Asian range high and potentially up to 116,250. It does begin to reject. I'd be looking for some sort of price action catalyst though to the downside for a potential sell option to retest the low of the day. Yeah, you put order at 4,073. Sell any suggestions? A limit order? Not sure what it's off the back of. Look, for the way I trade it, there is no entry just on a limit order at that point. But if you might see something different, suggestions, if you're looking for an entry around that level, maybe go down to the 1 minute even and look for a bit of support or something, and price to perhaps begin to pop below that support around that 4,073 level. That makes sense, something like so, and that could be your entry point. So you might be getting in with 4,072 for instance, but yeah, that's what I suggest. Down to 30 close, weak bullish, hourly. Yeah, not a bad candle. Options trading help, bias. Look, I would preference downside, but I'm not opposed to looking for buys as well here on gold. And we could have a potential valid buy option in 6.5 minutes. RKB, BTC, big pullback. Obviously, it's below that 100k level. To me, that could trigger a bigger sell-off, to be honest. Obviously, it's at some very strong support though, around that 93, 94, 95k region. But if it begins to pop below it, then I do believe it's going to bleed. So really below 92.80, I believe 84 is definitely on the cards. It is a level for it to bounce off. Now it really needs to be, when looking at the higher time frame perspective, it really needs to be back above that 107.50. That point's going to flip the structure back bullish here on the daily time frame. That's the way I would personally play Bitcoin. I would just play it based off the higher time frame structure. If you're looking for buy options, seeing it's at support, not a bad entry. I do believe could be above the resistance formed at support. So above 97.3, 97.40, 97,400 roughly. I do believe that would be a decent entry point to the upside. And again, to the downside below 92,955 to be exact. Back to the gold. Let's keep an eye on it, guys. 5 minutes. Are we going to have a potential option to buy it here? So what I'm seeing at the minute is, obviously we've made a bit of a pullback. We're triggered in sellers. We are wiping those sellers out. So off the back of that, the option would be, if it closes as is, it's not strong enough for the interruption play in my personal opinion. So I'd rather wait for it to create a low wick and begin to break above this candle's high. My members will send you guys a link. All right. In order for there to be a valid limit order, it needs to really be a significant closure. The volume on these candles is crazy. As per the course, the rules for a potential interruption entry is, generally speaking, 10 pips, but 10 pips just does not cut it. And at the moment on gold, because of the volume, you'd want to be probably about 30 pips above, in all honesty. So let's just mark in. So roughly speaking, it's around that level there. Emma, you thinking it will rally again from here? Potentially. I mean, as long as it remains above 4K, it keeps tapping into that point and bouncing off it. So potentially, but these bounces are becoming more shallow. So that is the other concern. Because again, the more we tap into an area and the more when we do actually pull back, we create lower highs upon the pullback, the more likely the level will eventually break. So let's see. Lucky you're driving home, jump 15. Okay, no worries. FX addict. You're gonna buy. Fair enough. Hamza, hope you're killing charts, bro. And you too, mate. I hope you're killing it and doing well. See a little resistance around 41.70, far off 41.70. Bruno, welcome to you, mate. Member, thank you for sharing a live. Zaylee one, you think we're gonna go up to 4120 or down? At the minute, I'm looking for a buy. So we've got just over 2 minutes remaining. Bruno keeps going up. It does. Well, it just keeps respecting support and creating pullbacks or bouncing. Yeah, it's sold at 47.3. Okay, mate. Wish you luck. I could be looking for a buy in just under 2 minutes. Bruno, you think it's going to come down, swipe liquidity and go up? Potentially. All right, so. Wow. You need a decent lower wick, guys, because stop loss. Just realized stop loss, you're looking at almost 90 pips. You're looking at plus 80. Yeah, you're almost at a 90 pip stop, which is not great. Let's have a look at the target. You got just the 1-to-1. All right, so options again are either going to be just above the high, so the high. And you check it out in your broker's chart, guys, because I don't want you guys saying to me you got triggered in when I've not been triggered in, and it goes the opposite way. So you need to keep an eye on whatever the highest point in your broker's chart is. On my chart, it's 40.73.59. So that means I'd be looking at entry around 40.73.85. The potential entry point. And I need a decent low wick. It looks like we may not be closing above the horizontal to validate the interruption entry. Could be going close though. RKB, thank you for the sticker. Bruno, no, you're more entitled to it. All good, mate. Zaylee, you're gonna buy? Potentially. All right, so we are closing up near the high. Could we get the interruption valid here? If that's the case, your potential entry is 4,069.91. That's on my broker's chart. Now there is no entry without a low wick, guys. So this candle needs to pull back and create a low wick. If it breaks the high, there is no entry without it. This is how I roll. It's a steadfast rule that serves me very, very well. And we're seeing why countless times on stream. We have just broken the high, no entry. So the limit order to me is not valid. Seeing we've broken the high. This is perfect. This is really good though, because we have now flipped and created a low wick. The high is 4,073.97. So I'd be looking at 4,074.20. 4,074.20 as a potential buy. That's my broker's chart. That's a couple of pips above on my broker's chart. Stop loss will be at the minute. It's just going to have to be below the entry candle's low, to be honest. And that way you get a really tight 1-to-1. Could be over and done with really quick though. That's the thing, irrespective, in either way, I mean. So I'm just going to place stop loss at 4,071.5. Ooh, we're in and we're pumping. Wow, let's go. Wow, there we go, guys. All right, I'm going to secure a little bit of profits. You had that 10, so I secured half. Back at the entry, so looks like I didn't get to break even, to be honest. I'm just gonna let go. I'm just gonna let go. I'm gonna see if it takes me out. It takes me out. I'm just gonna let it do its thing for a bit. So the target will be that resistance. I mean, you pretty much, you had enough to begin to secure. So let's see. Jackson, mate, unless you're looking at chart upside down, what makes you think I sold? You are watching, mate. I'm in a buy. I mean, in profit on the buy. There we go, guys. So consider securing if you want as just an early win for the week. You've got 13 and 14 pips on the table. Yeah, definitely being at, I'm definitely moving to break even now though. Just a quick little scalp. Oof. So close to be taking out break even. Need it if it breaks zone high again. Should be right, but so close to being taken out. Let's go. Continue to pump gold. Don't pull back. Here we go. Here we go. Break your own high. So there you go. You got 16, 17 pips on the table, and now it's starting to move. Here we go. All right, there we go, guys. There's 20 plus pips on the table. I'm going to secure another partial and let the rest run. I'm at break even. Job done to begin the week. Smash the like button. Still don't get enough credit on this stream. We are the most winningest stream, I reckon, out there. And the education is second to none. Look at that trade, guys. So, cracking trade in the end. We got 23 pips on the table roughly, so good work if anyone took it. And that's it. Jump time. You're in position, Kalush? Yes, I am. Bought at 4,059. The last W, nice one, brother. Raj Kumar, yes. Zaylee, I mentioned it well before the entry. Miss James, Crypto Queen, TP, stop loss. NTP will be this resistance, but I've already secured 75%. Begin, it was a pretty small one-to-one. You've got your one-to-one there. Remember, the stop loss was back below the entry candle. I forgot to screenshot it. Shit. Screenshot it for my members so I can upload it into the interactive trade journal. That's a good start to the week. Dean secured 40%, 15, and nice one. Already out, okay. Franco, W, nice one. Farouk, W, nice one, mate. Dean, W trade, yep. Great way to start the week, Farouk, yep. Chaos multimeter, how many trades do you take? All depends. Some days 1, some days 2, some days none. Just depends, mate. Daniel, anyone know the platform trading on? The actual to execute trades, MetaTrader 5. Well, what I'm charting up on here, it's TradingView. It's a free app, free trading app. Bruno, there you go. Yep. SB confluences, many. First of all, big signal candle, bullish engulfing. Very big signal candle. We've tapped into a strong level of support, which we created at the end of the proceedings of last week. It's also a bit of a psychological number that it tapped into, 4,050, which lines up with some resistance further back to the left-hand side as well. And we've bounced off it. The weekly did close back bullish as well. So perhaps we're just grabbing liquidity from the downside in order to head back up. So to me, there were plenty of confluences to take the entry. The main one being that bullish engulfing candle. Once again, didn't jump in early. And this one had 0 drawdown. It did come back to break it to the entry and just a tad below it, but basically no drawdown on this one. And currently you've got, well, you had another 23 plus pips on the table. TP again, TP is here, but I've already secured some profit. I'm at break even. If it comes out, takes my runner out, not a problem. See, 4,050, 75. Yep, we've tapped into 75. How many contracts do you use? No one's business. Bruno, my man, nice one, mate. Ahmed went long 4151. I hope you mean 4,051. Marpa, W, nice one. Bruno, break even. Lachlan, long, yep. Ernesto, how do you trade? Price action, mate. And it is pushing. Be break even and running. KB, nice one. No name, good day to you, mate. Hope you're well, brother. Hope you had a good session at the gym. You're a beast, bro. Unfortunately, just missed it. Couldn't get my laptop in time. Glad you took it. Nice one, mate. Plenty of other opportunities. And with your patience and discipline, I'm sure you'll spot quality entry moving forward. coming close to the entry again, guys, so likely a runner will get taken out. Ernesto, someone who knows nothing about trade. It's fair enough, mate. So generally speaking, there goes the runner. So I'm out at break even on the rest of it, guys. So generally speaking, I have a bit of a bias based off the overall picture, starting at the higher time frame. What I do suggest is just make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and rewatch the start. And I go over the analysis and how I go about analyzing a chart and come to conclusions, look for a potential entry. But for the most part, it comes down to price action catalysts. So the candles themselves are my signals, as opposed to indicators. I look for candles, they're my indicators. So here we had, first of all, bounce off the support. Price action catalyst here was the fact that we had a bullish engulfing, that pause candle after bouncing off support. So to me, that is a confluence, that is a reason to take a buy on the back of that, so long as the new candle is a low wick. So obviously this candle popped up based on price action. I know that there is a 95 to 99 probably % chance that the candle's going to pull back to create a wick in the opposite direction. So once it breaks the high of that previous candle, which it did do, I'm not getting FOMO, I'm not placing an order, because again, there is a high probability it's going to pull back. So I can spare myself the drawdown by just waiting for it to actually create a low wick, and knowing if it did flip again, it's likely going to make the move or give me enough to secure some profit. However, seeing it's broken the high, create the upper wick, you can put your entry safely back above the highest point of the entry candle. And if it comes back down and does not break its own high, there's no problem at all. You're not in the trade, so you're not worried. And maybe you're going to get another option from lower down, or maybe you could get a sell option. So yeah, I mean, just stick around. You'll learn a lot just by watching. YouTube, unreal. I don't understand it. You get the stream numbers up and then you take a trade and everyone drops off, except for my normal team. Oh, you guys rock. That is when, oh, that's a little bit big. That's 100 win 133. A lot of threes here with 33 losses. That's a stream record. We are back over 80%, guys. Let me quickly just fix this up. 133. Oops. 80.12. Not a bad strike rate. Not too shabby. And the charts have been good the last week or two. They're finally livening up for the way I trade anyway. Obviously, we had a couple of dull weeks where we really found it hard to find entry. And it happens, but since last week, entries have been, they've been aplenty, and they've been quality entries. So, been in some really good form. RKB, thank you once again for your stickers. Ethan, yeah, I'm out though now. My runner got taken out and looks like it could make the move up, but it's all good. I've secured most of it. Good way to start the week. Bruno, right away on trading. Tomo, what do you mean 23 pips, mate? I know nothing. I just, oh, okay. So that's just the price movement. It's a percentage in price is a pip. So technically speaking, that's 223 pips. What I mentioned, or 230 pips, sorry. The way you count pips on gold is a little bit different. For me, I consider 1 pip to be 10-cent move. So $1 move is 10 pips. And it's just the reference. It's just how we are. We talk about pip counts, counting pips basically when we're taking profits, when we're setting stop loss, so on and so forth. Well, that's what I do, and then I look at the value afterwards. So return wise, profit or loss. So generally speaking, 10 pips is $1. If you look at baby pips, it will say it's $1 is 100 pips technically. but really make a difference, to be honest. Bruno was about to pull back down before looking at that candle. Yeah, it looked like it was possibly going to do so. So if anyone's still in it, wow, you're looking really good. You're 40 plus pips up, so $4+. So with leverage, that's a significant return. Bruno, you're a true legend, man. Appreciate it. Ricky, good morning for you, Kate. Good morning to you. Rubita, I think 4,080 can entry sell, right? You'd look possibly. I'd be wanting it to pull up a bit higher, as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream when I was in my rundown. I'd want it to preferably pull up towards the resistance. Good thing it's making a clear move up, so therefore means the move back down will be more likely, in my opinion, to be a clean move met by less resistance. So very delicious. Get it to you. Maybe have do some mud. No, 10 pips is gold is $1. I think if you look it up on baby pips, I think it will say slightly different, but yes, that's how I refer to it as well. Very delicious. G'day to you. Said a lot of people are shorting gold, even though it's just up value, even though it's just going up in value. Why is that? Maybe potential short-term sells. I'm still, you know, happy to sell it if it gives me an option. But yes, I am extremely bullish otherwise. I think gold, you're looking at technically on the minor time frame here, it is bearish. So I do understand why people would be trying to sell it. Long-term perspective, I'm only holding. Not interested in selling any of my physical. I've been moving a stop loss and now it just hit. Oh, well, at least you moved it into, you know, you secure profit, so well done. Rabbi Abdul Samad, do I use volume profile? No, I don't. Yeah, how do I mark my areas? Well, lowest point of support of any bullish candle to the closest body, and at resistance, the highest point of any resistance candle to, generally speaking, closest body. But I want to incorporate more of an area here as price is tapped into this level multiple times. Just watch the start of the streams, man. Sure, you're sub to the YouTube channel. Make sure if you've not done so, do so. I will do a video on it. I've been asked multiple times. I will do it. I've just been super busy, guys. I've been so flat out. My team understand that. I've been crazy busy of late. I will have a lot more time for the charts as of next week. So if you just joined TikTok, the 150 plus of you, already taken a win here on gold. Took some gold buys from above this candle's high, basically, and secured some profit on that. The go now is wait to see how price reacts to resistance. So 1-0 so far. Rubita, your seller area 4,080, what I think. Yeah, it's not a bad area. I mean, you're looking at all these consolidations to the left hand side. So yeah, potential rejection is again bearish on the 15-minute time frame here. So it could just be pulling back to create a lower high. So yeah, I don't think it's that bad a level, but I would not just be selling it at that level. I'd be looking for some sort of price action confirmation. Sujim Minizi, can you read XAUUSD or just gold? This is XAUUSD, mate. This is spot gold. Uncle, all good, mate. I hope you're well. Can you trade XAUUSD in US? Don't know, mate. Not from the US, no idea. Bruno, you're a very good, honest trader I've ever seen. Thank you, my friend. Well, I try to, you know, give away as much as I can on stream. What do you think about GJSB? I had to look at it before. It's just consolidating, unless it's, well, it's broken out of it. Nice one. Interesting. So it's now more interesting, and I'd be looking for also sells just because of where it's at. So this is good. That's what it needed to do. Create a clean move, cut through the mess to the left, and now it's popped up. It has tapped into a level of rejection here. You could drag that down to the bodies of these bearish, well, this bearish count to the left. So I'd be looking for a sell catalyst from the current level. Whether it be bearish engulfing candles or your bit of minor support form and price begin to pop below it. But I do believe sells are a good option from the current level once you do have the right confirmation to do so. Short a buy, wax. Well, already took a buy, but now after taking a buy, I would preference a sells just based on the level it's at. Bruno, you're selling, are you? Yeah, not for me. I'm just waiting still. Buys for London Open. All bearish, to be honest. Lockie, you still in? Fair enough. Card at Haddon, 4082, so good entry. Good entry level, yes. As far as for me, I'd still wait a confirmation to sell it though, or just enter as price taps into it. Aaron, do I think gold is going up? If you ask me future wise, yes, definitely 10k. Not saying it's happening this year, next year. I reckon it may happen by the turn of this decade. Are you talking about right now going up? It's got a lot of resistance up ahead of itself, so I would preference the sells. And I'd be looking for buys on the pullback now. If it bursts through it and breaks through these highs, then I'm just waiting for it to pull back, create a high low, and look for a buy option off the back of that. Z? Is this XAUUSD? Yes. Notice how I said Z and not Z. It's FISO, so you should. So now should I sell? Up to you, mate. I don't have a sell confirmation. Aaron, I think we'll reach 41.58 soon. No idea. Got a lot of resistance up ahead of it. I'm not going to try to predict whether it's going to happen soon or today, tomorrow, next week. No idea. Tay, do you think it will go above 42? Yes, but not right now. Could happen later this week. I'm not sure, but yes, future for sure. Marco, the best. He's really good. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. Abba, you new to FX. Health new go live Monday to Thursday, sometimes Friday. Sometimes I miss a day in between. Like for instance, tomorrow could be one of those days, but a pretty busy one. But I might be around. I'm not sure yet. Evo, if you prefer an instant prop firm, what will it be? I'm from the US. You guys are really restricted. No idea, because the only one, if I was to take on another challenge, would be FDMO, and you guys, I'm sure you can't buy a challenge or can't try a challenge through FDMO, as far as I'm aware. I could be wrong. So Allah, well, I already took a buy, taking profits on the buy, now waiting for maybe a potential sell. Hey, thank you, all good. What exactly do you do there, Malik? What do you mean? Humble. Oh well. Are you a full-time trader? Yes or no. I do trade the same session day in day out, but I do have other interests in the background, a business in the background. So I think that's a good thing, in all honesty, because it's perfect the time-wise for my trading. Seeing a trade London session. For the most part, it's more the latter half of the week, so I'm usually quite free up until Friday, so I can trade Asian session if I really want to. But I like to do things. I like to go out. I like to go to the gym. I like to get a coffee. I like to not be sat in charts for 8 hours a day. So by having that business and income in the background takes the pressure off having to find a trade, and allows me to focus on finding only quality trades, and not even finding, just waiting a quality trade to present. Always mention on stream, I don't hunt trades. I allow trades to come to me. So once I've done my analysis, I know exactly where I want to get involved, and with experience of more than 8 years, I know exactly what I want to see when price, and depending on how price also reaches a predetermined level. So it all depends on how price first of all gets to that level and how price reacts to it, and I know exactly what I want to see. That just comes with experience and time on the charts. Do I use AI? Yes, but not for trading. To create content. Actually, not to create content, just to give me some decent hashtags and that. For instance, for my fitness video today, first take, not a bad effort to be honest, guys. How's the definition on those arms? Come on, guys. Anyone's had a watch? Let me know. Nah, I'm a humble guy. I don't have tickets on myself, but I was pretty impressed with that video, to be honest. I hate filming, but I have the yoga room to myself. I thought, you know what, I'm gonna give it a crack. Well, there's no one in there. Bands for events. Do I want to fight, mate? Let's go for it. Say, yep, red light. About all good. Bands for events. Asian session's great. It's the best of the lot, in all honesty. I do trade it sometimes, but I also like to go to gym and that. And I know streaming wise, there's gonna be more on stream for London, and London just suits me at a time as well. Asian session is great. How about you from Nigeria? I don't feel like you can change my life. Well, I hope I am of benefit to people's lives. Eva, all good. Jamie Ainsworth, sell potentially. Make 2K and sells for Asian. Fans for events. Asian session is great. I'm not knocking it. It's the best session, I reckon. Of late, this year, it's been the best session on gold, hands down. Hands down. It's not as manipulated as MY session with the news and the big banks being open, or the big US banks, the big bullion banks I'm talking about, not the just your average local bank. Asians only good on gold, I compare. Not sure. I only look at it when I'm looking at Asian session. It's gold's the only thing I'm looking at. The bang, when can we sell? Once you have a confirmation at the resistance. SB, check GJ. Yeah, rejecting. Still no catalyst in my opinion. You don't even have 5-minute support, so I'd be waiting for maybe a little bit of 5-minute support. Price pop below it. It's just a weak 15-minute closure. I mean, it could come down, but to me, it's not strong enough confirmation to sell. It's a mix. Is gold looking bullish because of double bottom? To me, it's at some very strong resistance. It's fast approaching, so I'd be looking more for rejection of the current level. And for events, exactly, mate. Yep, I agree with Asian session. MY session in your time. Trader Joe, midnight is the open. Bands for events. And if you're funded, easy not to break rules. Yep, there's no high impact news and all that. For gold anyway. We lost, buy or sell. Right now, nothing. I already took a buy, and unfortunately, the runner got taken out, but secure profits anyway. And it would be tapping into target. But well done if anyone is holding it. And a good way to start the week either way. Bands for events looks strong at the moment. It does. Arrowfin, good day to you. Hope you're well. Inverse head and shoulders M15. Don't see it. If that's to be the case, it's got to create the shoulder on the right hand side here, and that would therefore complete the pattern. Not how to trade it, but so the camcorder emoji you're selling to be 4020. Fair enough. Lucas, I'm holding still 4 hour for value gap. All good. SB, do you say how much profit you made off this trade? No, it's of no one's interest. Well, you guys might be interested, but it's no one's business. I make a decent amount. It's not nothing life-changing. At the minute, I've scaled down my account. But it's enough to see good returns, enough to see significant losses. But it's been a cracking month. Rabbi Abdul Samad, Australia, mate, Melbourne. Dean, you did misspell growing up in the arms. It's because of I misspell growing. Oh, okay, it's probably just a quick mistake. I'll fix it up though. Spelling's not normally that bad, so I'm pretty sure it was just an innocent mistake. I would never spell growing wrong. How do you spell it? G-O-W-W-W-I-N-G. I'm kidding. I know how to spell growing. Emmanuel, what if the Sunday Open in gold can act as support to the upside? I mean, it will act as support, so price pop above it and form support when I think that's the lowest point of the weekly candle. Personally, doesn't mean it has to be, but I think that there's a good chance it will be. Maybe Abdul Samad, you're in Melbourne as well. Fair enough, mate. Maybe we'll have a Melbourne catch up for the Aussie people, those in Melbourne. If anyone else wants to come from wherever, you're more than welcome. Do you say how much read that Arafin? I've switched over futures now. Stopped trading CFDs. My entry is too clean. Fair enough. Lazy homeschool mum, welcome to you. Not seen you on stream for a while. Hope you're well. Always a pleasure to see you on the stream. SB, fair play. Yep. RKB close 75%. Nice work. Good work, guys. So it's tapped into full TP if anyone did actually hold. The nice work. Elvis, people ask the wrong questions. Yeah, I mean, you should be asking questions that will be of benefit in regards to not. There should be no interest in how much I'm trading. Ask me technical questions. That way people can learn. You can learn. We can all learn. Dean, you assumed it was typo. The caption says yeah, so it's definitely a typo. I'll fix it up later. So we're approaching strong with a lot of momentum to the upside here, guys. We've got less than 15 minutes until session open. Definitely need to see some sort of rejection. I would not be chasing it to the upside again, being in the buy from earlier. You're not already in a buy. I think you're a little bit too late to the party, so you'd probably need to now let it reset. What I mean by that is I'd probably want it to pull back to create another higher low and then maybe look for an option to take it back up. Now there could be some buys back above 4,094, this resistance here, but again, prior to popping above that point, you definitely want to trigger in some sell pressure up above it, and then we'll likely hang up to the highest point of the 4-hour resistance. But we'll wait and see. Anyway, still a bit of time. How many percent gain do you make? Yeah, it all depends, but not to be rude, but it doesn't really benefit anyone. Again, you should be asking questions in regards to what I look at, price action, so on and so forth. It all depends. It all depends. Last week was a cracking week. Some weeks are quieter, some weeks are a loss. Not that often, not often at all, but it's not always, you know, what's the, let's say, not honey roses, what's that saying? Anyway, you guys get the picture. You don't always win. You're going to take some losses. You're going to have a losing week here and there. Fans for events, is your leverage quite crap? It is 130, but look, to be honest, it's of no real big deal to me. Just means I can't really open multiple positions. That's fair enough. I'm talking about multiple pairs. Fans from rents, you're out now. Yep, I think it's a good level to get out. Lazy home school mum, you still in? Nice one. Majority is at 4,095. No, it's a little bit higher up. What is the blue region you marked? 4,084 to 4,093 roughly. Zero still holding, fair enough. Lazy homeschool mom, been watching your streams, running it on in the background. Nice one, appreciate it. Eva, what I think about 4,098 for TP? Yeah, it's a realistic level for sure. But again, what I'd be saying to you as well, we've basically come from the daily low without really a proper pause. We've had a little bit of a pause there, and that gave us our catalyst to enter the market above that point. But it would definitely make a bit of a pullback and reject this resistance. It is a pretty strong level, so I would not just, I'd be trailing my stop. I would have definitely secured some profit because it is at a level where it could reject, and we are still bearish technically on the minor time frame here. Ricky, how does leverage work? Still a bit confused. Leverage, so you borrow the money from the broker, and they'll give you that money to use as leverage. All you can lose, technically speaking, is the money you invest onto the platform. Yeah, that's pretty much how it works. So in 1 to 30s of a lower sort of scale of things. So it just means that every time price makes a small move, it gives you more of a return, basically speaking. But best place for all that is this particular website. Now, can't obviously put in the chat, but anyway, you should be able to find it. Fakepips.com. It's free. It'll help you with all that basic sort of stuff that you need to know. So Mix, thank you for the stickers. SB, so is London true open 8 AM? UK clocks just went back an hour. 8 AM UK time. They went back an hour a few weeks ago. So yeah, it's in a few minutes, well, 7 minutes, just under. Simon, did I sell? No, I took a buy into the resistance and I've taken profit, and potentially we'll see how price reacts to the current level. As for events, going to reject out potentially the GBP sell, maybe missed curl. So ready mainly read mainly the candles and price action on 50 predominantly, yes, but I also look at the other time frames, starting at the higher time frames and also down to the 5 minute. Dallas, nothing in a minute. Took a buy, now maybe looking at options to sell. Tafiso, you think it's going to go buy or for how long? Well, it's at resistance. I'm not entering another buy at the minute. Could go bearish. Doesn't have to. It could continue bullish. I'm not in the markets at the minute. So Mix, how do tax work trading? Is it tax free? No, it's not. Not here in Oz. Definitely not tax free. For me, it's a little bit different because I do obviously have a business, a trading business. So I do it differently. So you can claim lots. So you can claim your trades. The commissions and that you pay, that's what you can claim. So again, there's a lot to it, but basically I pay myself wage for the business, and it gives me obviously a little bit of a tax rate. It's not, you pay a fortune in taxes, especially here in Oz. There is no real way around it. But again, it's just something you need to look at depending on your jurisdiction and where you're from. That lazy homeschool mum, no value in flashing numbers. That's why I respect your lives. Appreciate it. Again, I've traded bigger lots. Currently now I'm not trading close to my highest lot size, but still, again, still a decent amount. Still definitely could lose some significant cash if I'm not careful. Zero would break the resistance, maybe. Jack, setting my levels, then come onto your live to see matching is always good. Nice one. Yeah, nice one, mate. So much respect as well to drop your charts first and then have a look. Where's Yuri? Are you selling? No, not just yet. Eva, I think it's safe to put in a sell TP for 4,075. I wouldn't be in a sell, to be honest, because there is no confirmation just yet. We're breaking through. The momentum is to the upside. So irrespective of the level we're at, doesn't mean you can just sell it because that resistance, or for me anyway, I need to await price action catalyst, as I did here. Because had I sold it off the back of that one bearish candle, knowing that we're in a technical downtrend in my time frame, I would have got absolutely wrecked. But waiting for the right confirmation to do so, seeing it did reject and pop back up and obviously closed back strong bullish, I had the right reason to take a buy. So that was a catalyst just there. I don't yet have any sort of catalyst here to sell it. We could easily just burst straight through all this and the sells won't come. There is a chance. So just need to be a little bit more patient. SB, if JJ pushes above the resistance, would you go long or short if it rejects that area? Yeah, I mean, it's got a fair way to pop above it, but yes, it's triggering sellers. So if it did wipe out those sellers and pop above 204.07, no, actually, you got more resistance. It's the higher point in the four-hour. To be honest, I'd rather buy the pullback if it did pull back and concentrate and sell options. So to me, this is looking much better. What I'd be doing is I'd be using the fib, and if this thing closed below 0.382, you got a weak bullish support forming below the resistance, and as price begins to break in the following candle, that's your entry. But it looks like it's going to close above it. Got 2 minutes left, so coming to London Open. Good thing is it's creating support below resistance, so even if it closes strong bullish, what I'd wait for is a closure below that support. Let me track to the left, good chance it'll make the move down. So that's your options on GJ. So just under 2 minutes, there's still no confirmation here on gold. It needs to reject, and needs to reject strong. What I want it to see, and not even going to use the fib here, if this closes back weak bullish below the resistance, I will look to sell it at London Open. If not, there is no sell entry for me just yet. Bans for events, red and green candles frustrate me. Really? Yeah, I prefer it, to be honest. Spra him, buy or sell. Nothing in a minute. Z, what level? Once you got the right confirmation, potentially this level, but there is no confirmation. Jakori, you're looking at sells, fair enough. Jad, is there no gap? I don't have any gap, no. Someone PMO. Roland Chipwood, no idea what that means. Do you trade Bitcoin? No, fans for events, I do not. I thought we own a pizza shop, Napolitano Pizza in Oh, actually, wow. Napolitano Pizza, I'm sure I know of that place. Not saying wouldn't have been, to be honest, mate. I don't eat pizza, I eat clean. I like pizza, but I just eat clean. But I'm pretty sure, no, I've definitely heard of it. Nice one, brother. I used to live right near there. I used to live in Cheltenham. JD Beats, I took that trade earlier, just closed my position. Want to trade start the week. Nice one, brother, good work. Appreciate it, mate. Abdul, to be fair, when people do flashy lots or show their profits, losses, it causes FOMO buying. It does, to be honest. It used to do it to me. Session open, guys, definitely no confirmation to sell it. And no, nothing for me to buy it. We've already taken a buy. Not going to chase it from higher up again. Yeah, it used to happen with me, Abdul, to be honest. I used to kind of get jealous when I saw people, you know, making massive returns and think, well, I just made 10 bucks. That's not enough. And this is when I first started, when I was on like 10-cent lots or whatever, $1,000 account. And I would do that. I would literally say, right, stuff it. I'm just going to buy it again and hold it. And I would get absolutely wrecked and destroyed. And I'll end up the day minus $40 or something. And I was looking at it the wrong way. I was looking at it in monetary terms as well. Had no proper plan to follow in regards to how many trades a day and all so on and so forth. And I was just following the wrong people. So don't worry about what someone else is making. It's great that we'll make money, and you know, not great when we're hearing of people losing money. But what we should concentrate on doing is doing things the right way. So your way is the way I trade. Great, follow your rules, follow your plan. If your way is not the way I trade, once again, follow your rules, follow your plan. Don't deviate from it. Don't worry what someone else is making, because eventually, you know, there are options. And eventually, once you know, are consistent and a decent trader, and, you know, disciplined trader, that's when you might have the opportunity to make some substantial returns in trading. So just concentrate on doing things right. Egg bottle beer. Are you in Australia? What time day do you trade actively? Yeah, yes, I am in Oz. So generally speaking, around, well, stream starts 5:45 p.m. up until really any time around now. And then normally I'm with the team later on a call and throughout the week after the stream at some point, but I'm very busy at the minute with my personal business because of a family member being away, and he's due to return this week, and that will open things up for me as of next week. I can be on the charts more. Mid TK could reject now, potentially. You're looking for a short, who knows, we'll see. Hell, Moodia, please can you check Bitcoin? I had a look at it before. It's I mentioned I'd want it to be, personally, if I was trading it, I want it to be above 9,700, 97,000. Try that again. 97,411 is where I want to be above. Otherwise, I'd just be looking for rejection sells. Gold is just continuing bullish. I really want to reject. I want it to tank. And it's because I have conviction and believe that gold will be a lot more than 4,000 in the future. I want to buy some at cheaper discount rate. Big bottle beer. So London and early NY. I'm trying to find a time trade working 9 to 5. Yeah, I mean early NY is NY. You're talking about 11 p.m. our time, 10:30, 11. It's too late for me. London is ideal if you work 9 to 5. Zero, almost there. You are being biased on what? Not being. I have no fixated bias at the minute. Gurav Kamboz 110. G'day to you. Which broker you use in Forex Gold? I'll type in the chat the one I use. I am not affiliated. You can't technically have an affiliation with a broker here in Oz. 0D AMD. I don't look at equities. Lazy homeschool mum. Don't we all want to buy for less? Oh, gold, silver. I did pick up 4 more ounces of silver over the weekend. Physical silver. After I saw it close the week for strong rejection. But I want gold a little bit cheaper before I start reaccumulating. I mean, the best way is DCA, but I'd rather DCA silver. Reason being is I believe there is more potential upside as far as return in silver for the longer term perspective. Silver is actually up some 62, 63%, I think it is, for the year. Gold a tad below it. So silver does in fact outpace gold both to the upside and downside. It is more volatile. It's a smaller market. It does not take as much to move it. It is the most manipulated market by the big bullion banks in the world. Second to that is platinum. Third is gold, I think, or palladium, vice versa, or copper. It's basically the metals. It's been listed as a critical mineral by the US of late too. India apparently are now allowing banks to use it, or people to use it as collateral in a bank and loan against it. So it's starting to regain its monetary value, is silver. So in my personal opinion, silver is the play when it comes to the long-term perspective. Silver buy, nothing in a minute. What is your time frame? Sinks predominantly the M15. That's the TikTok chat all caught up. Rabbi Abdul, we're neighbors. Yeah, man. Well, maybe at some point I'll have to pop down. I know the place. I'm sure I know it. My sister will know it. She's in Hyatt as well, so. Larry Jones, what's the best prop firm? FTMO. It's the only one I've seen. FTMO, the Fivers, they're also pretty reputable. I would probably trust them. Definitely not only funds, because I got scammed big time. Rabbi, you bought 1 kilo at 41. Silver, nice one. Nice work, man. I've been buying silver since it was around the 30 plus, roughly, Oz dollar. And it's at 78 now. And I still have conviction to buy it all the way up in DCA. I buy pretty much every week. So I believe silver will definitely go into triple figures. I do believe silver could in fact go into the thousands. Up towards that 1 to 2K. Not saying again it's going to happen anytime soon. But I definitely see 100 being on the cards soon. Look at gold, it's just continuing to the upside here. No, not slowing down at all. Wow, if only the runner didn't get taken out. Last week, we had some big trades, guys. I can't remember the exact days. Last week, one of the trades ran for 130 pips. I closed out 120. The last trade of the week on the Thursday ran for 240 pips was where I closed that, I think it was. So sometimes your runner's going to get kept in, sometimes your runner is going to get stopped out, and price is going to continue. Just what happened today, but still secured some decent profit. Good way to start the week. The Echo is back. Man, guys, I have no idea why it does it. Hold on, let me see. Has the settings changed again? How about now? It's good now. All right. That's fine. I'm sorry, FTMO definitely the best. They don't have any of those secret rules. Yeah, that's what killed me. What color is my A.C.T GTX 300? White. I don't even know what car that is, to be honest. I'm not big on cars. Really not. I've mentioned before, I like big pickup trucks. That's why I like. I don't like sport cars. Rabbi Abdul, great work. Yeah, and you too, mate. SB seems like as soon as I clicked the view, it went normal. Lachlan cars, yeah, I've just never been into them. I just like big cars, that's all. I've always driven big cars. Every time I get into a car that's lower down, I don't feel comfortable. We've got a Honda Civic RS. It's a turbo. It's not the Type R because it's hard to get it where we were. It was too long of a wait. And I don't like it. I honestly don't like it. For me, it just feels like it's too low down. The Hilux, love it. What a good run. Yeah, absolutely pumping. So if that's the case, what you do is readjust. So I only had this in because that's the most recent level, but now we're approaching the 4-hour level. So now I'm just going to mark that zone back in, change it to gray so we can distinguish between high time frame resistance and lower time frame one. And now that's pretty much what I've been looking at. That's your new range. Well, that is the current range. Like I mentioned earlier, I'd adjust it to that resistance here to the left because above it, it is much cleaner for it to push higher. So monster trucks are cool. Yeah, the bigger the better. I love it. I absolutely love big cars. What a good run. Lucky. Yeah, it is. You're in outside my time frame. I'm not too sure what you mean by that, to be honest, mate. Lucky me and Lachlan have a VL turbo. VL turbo. Good old VL. Fair enough, mate. Brings back, you know, brings back the good old days when I was a young one. Still am, but you know, my mates. Can't remember how many of my mates would have had a VL turbo. I never had one though. So now TP 4086. What do you think? I'd want it to come up higher. I do believe it's still got potential to head bullish. Can one enter now? Links. I would not be entering now. No confirmation. M5 rejection. It's what, one candle? That's no confirmation. Low. Sell now. It's clearing liquidity. Fair enough. Next candle will engulf. Well, that would be a good confirmation if it was the 15. Links should we sell? Not for me. There's still a lot of momentum to the upside here. Also got my hands on a new fragrance today, guys. So that's the other interest of mine: fragrance and fragrances and fitness. Obviously training. Picked up pretty stock stand one, but it's a classic good one. Acqua di Gio Profondo EDT. So obviously the latest version of a classic. Gonna do a little review of it too, so keep an eye out for that. I used to always love the classic. I think it was one of the first fragrances I ever rocked, to be honest. And I still buy it. I just recently finished the bottle, so I thought I'd just buy the latest version, the Profondo. And it's fresh, same thing, pretty much the same thing, just a little bit more citrusy, I would say, maybe a little bit more aquatic as well. Not tried the Parfum. The Profondo Parfum. It's probably Eau de Parfum. It's probably a lot stronger. But I actually like this. It's a little more mild. Probably not as in your face. You've sold? Joe Corey sending wedge formation on bigger time frames. Do you teach trading humble a wall? Yeah, I do. Do have a VIP group, excuse me. All right. Look, that's not a bad rejection, to be honest. If it did break below the previous candle, there'd be a high probability of heading back down. But there is no 5-minute support or anything just yet, so it's still a probability. It's still not a bad entry, but it's not yet perfect for me. What would make that perfect is bearish engulfing, or that 5-minute support be created and price begin to pop below it. Maybe a lot more discipline. Thank you, mate. It took many years to be good at it, to be honest, and to understand it. Sigma 5-minute bearish engulfing? Nah, not for me. Not for me. It has to be minimum 15. Mr. Capitano, looking for longs? No, I already took longs, already secured some profits. At the current level, I'd rather look for sales. Now it's with me. What are your confirmations? Well, there are many different ones. For instance, at the current level, bearish engulfing candle would be a significant catalyst, and that would be on the 15, not the 5-minute. Aside from that, long rejections into the actual 4-hour resistance, which we've not yet had, and we've not tapped into it, only to close back weak bullish or bearish, which suggests we've grabbed liquidity from the upside, and if the following candle broke the low, there'd be a high probability for heading back down. There are many different analysts, there are many different signals, confirmations, but it all just depends on what level we're at and how we approach that particular level. Lucky potential sell rejects resistance. I mean, there could be a potential sell. SB GJ, yep, looking good, but I would wait for this count to close. Very simple. Still rejecting, respecting the 4-hour resistance. You've created support below it, fantastic. So you're part of the way to ticking off the boxes here. Next thing you need to see is the closure below, and there's your entry once you get the closure below. Low at the close of 15-minute bearish engulfing, take a sell. The next open candle, potentially. Yes, potentially. I don't just enter a sell on the closure of the candle, because similar to what happened here to the upside, we took the buy. What happened, this candle popped straight up to break the high of that previous candle. Did not have a lower wick, so I spared myself being stuck in drawdown by letting it pull back to create the lower wick and then entering as it broke its own high again. So that would be the reason why I want to wait for the candle to actually open, the following candle, create its wick in the opposite direction, and then as it breaks, I think there's a high probability of it heading down. But generally speaking, yes. Oops. Jesh, is that going down? Well, right this second it is, but pretty strong solid bounce off the 4-hour support. Alright guys, I'll be back in 1 minute. What? Broken? Broken, you mean? I'll type it quickly in the chat. is going down to 4,000s. Mr. Capitano have an order at 4,077 for what? Buy or sell? Joey, for the AUP strategy, is it normally best to wait for a pullback? I'm fairly new to no idea. AUP strategy. Again, I trade price action, mate. I have no idea. Not every trader knows every single strategy, so for me, I have no idea what the AUP strategy is. Mr. Capitano at fair value at 30. Again, all good. Don't trade fair value ups, but I wish you luck. SB, GJ. Yeah, it could be. Looking good. Mr. Capitano, buy. Fair enough. We got Payo. Sell, my guy, sell. I preference the sells, to be honest. So for Abdi, maybe. Already taking a win on a buy. Jesh said to you, I'm waiting for a confirmation. There you go, Lucky's answer boy. Still no support in a 5-minute. So that would be really nice if there is some 5-minute support, because the issue is, once again, stop loss is going to be a massive one. Wow, this thing is dropping like it's hot in the minute. Low? No. No, they take commission out. It's a class action against my broker. I have no idea why. They're a really good broker. Never had an issue. It's just salty people who lost money, didn't read the fine print well enough, but it's there. So it's all there when you open an account. It does say you're liable, you know, there is risk involved. You can lose your own money. And you're liable for that, not them. And that's totally fair enough. You're the one at the end of the day pulls the trigger, not IC markets. So it's not their fault. This sus baby setting up to fail. Do not buy. Yeah, I think Lockie may have been joking a bit. SB into short GJ. Okay. I would have been waiting for the confirmation personally, and that confirmation again is the closure below. But I wish you luck. What is the confirmation for sell? El Guitarro, good day to you. Well, bearish engulfing, it's making a move just now, guys. I don't want this to shit the bed in the next 4 minutes and 45 seconds. I'm not going to chase the sell unless it's perfect, because I've already taken a buy and a win. Bearish engulfing, upper wick and a falling candle, targets this support. H Hon Dirt. Sell, potentially. Simon, yes. Yes, that's what I mean. Lucky, all good. You're in a short, £162 up at the moment. Nice one. Will we get the what I mentioned at the start of the stream, a buy to take it up to the level where we could sell it from. It may be presenting, guys. Low is what? 4,079, 45, 4,079. When it's gonna create a low. Now, what I'll likely risk if I do take another trade, it'll be pretty much just the profit from the first trade, max. In fact, it'll probably be less than max. I'd rather just end the day in a profit. Because as good as an entry signal is, nothing's guaranteed. But this is a pretty solid one, in all honesty. H100, he lost 1,600 yesterday. I could be crying. What, trading crypto? Lachlan, you just lost 500, you bought? Yeah, I'm not sure why you bought it at that level, mate. Like I mentioned, you're buying it after the move. It's just makes no sense. How much do I risk per trade? It's floating risk, anywhere usually between 1 and 5%. Bitcoin, yeah, gotta be careful with Bitcoin, mate. So many fell asleep. Jess, I'd be looking for a sell. That's what I'd be looking at. Lachlan, I'm getting confused. If I'm lucky, it's holding it by guys. Photos receipts for effort. So there's two of you watching on the same account. Is that what happens? You exit your short, £211 profit. Nice one. While forming reverse head and shoulders pattern. Maybe. H100, I'm always talking to myself on the stream. I know what you're talking about, Lachlan. Yeah, all good. 2 accounts. So for those interested in GJ, you could have a confirmation shortly. Could get the closure below. Now, gold needs a decent upper wick yet again, because the issue is there is no limit order here, by the way. There is no interruption. The issue is stop loss is massive. So it needs an upper wick and a decent one. The entry 4,079 flat is what I'd be potentially looking at. Again, look at on your broker's chart, determine what the lowest point of the current candle is, and look for your entry a couple pips, maybe 2.5 pips, sorry, below the low. Don't just copy my entry, because the different brokers will have different prices. So you might get triggered in when you should not have been triggered in, because you've gone off my price and your broker's price is different. Two accounts, besties both got lucky. Fair enough. All right, looking good, but needs an upper wick. Needs an upper wick prior to the entry. Let's look at the 5-minute quickly. Got the support. That's not bad. Another confluence here. Got a little minor support in the 5 minutes. So price breaks it. Needs an upper wick. There you go. You got a potential entry again. Got an upper wick. Now this thing has to happen soon, because I need to go make dinner. It's starting to get late. So that's just reality. It is my dinner time, guys. Normally I'd be off stream by now. Stop loss will be above the entry candle. Now let's look at a 30-minute, seeing that did close. That closed strong rejection as well. It's looking really good. I'll wait around about 5 minutes and see if it gets triggered in. And if not, just keep an eye on it. The stop loss just above the highest point of the current candle. All right, 1079. It's around a 39.40 pip stop. Underneath, left shoulder broken to the upside, broken resistance, now making a right shoulder. Maybe, I don't know, I don't trade price action patterns. RKB sold, what, GJ? Still no confirmation. You got the first tick, you closed below, but it's creating upper wick. For me, there is no entry on GJ until it breaks low of the catalyst candle. So for me, I would not be in this trade still. And the way it's popping back up now, it looks like it could form support yet again. And therefore, if that's the case, the entry is going to have to be back on a closure below the low of this bearish candle. So you should not be in a trade. You've got the first tick, but the rule still and you got, I mean, it's been met by creating upper wick, but it's not broken the point where you should be involved in a trade. And gold is really pulling back as well. All right, issue of gold could be stop loss here, guys. Let's quickly measure it. If it's going to be too wide, I'm just going to remove it. I'm not going to bother. Yeah, it's 50 plus pips already. If it pushes much further, I'm just going to call it. But I will give you the idea of what I'd be looking for. So seeing this thing is popping up higher, what you could do is just wait to see how the 15 closes. If it closed weak bearish, weak bullish below 0.382. So if this is, let's just say, to be the highest point in the candle, and that's the low, marking a 0.382, and that would suggest it's a weak bullish closure, potentially grabbing upside liquidity. And what you could do is potentially look for the following candle, create upper wick, and as it begins to break low of the bullish candle, that's your entry. So you're entering a little bit higher up, not below the low of that previous candle. You'd be entering as it breaks the bullish candle's low. Let's just measure this. What is the stop loss just now? 52 pips roughly. Means they're got a really low lot size, to be honest. Yeah, it's still valid, but it's an F. Going to sell 4,073, comes to 4,100 for New York Open. Just thinking, looking at it, if it's not going to happen, so under 4,050, 4,000. Okay. Most of you here don't know what you are doing, asking buy or sell, gambling. Yep, Deneth, I already got 200 pips for London Open. Check my last post. Robbie, 4,078.07 is the 50% of Asia needs to close below for sales. 50% Asia. Is it? Not too sure, to be honest, but oh, getting close. Well, it's in. And I want to get to break in pretty quickly because I want to go have dinner. There we go. There we go. All right, getting to break even. Going to secure a little bit of profit at 14. Yeah, I've just secured a little bit of profit and job done again. Smash the like button. I'm going to leave it a runner. I'm just going to let it do its thing while I have dinner and not worry about managing the rest. It was just a small position, a real small position, this one, so I'm not bothered. 2 from 2. Now, if that doesn't deserve a like, what does? What does, team? What a way to end the stream. 2 from 2, guys. We're killing it. We're killing it. Yes, we had a lean 3 weeks where it was very tough to get a trade. last week and so far to begin the week, we're absolutely smashing it. So don't forget, like, subscribe, follow. Should be back tomorrow. Not 100% sure though, because I do have a big day tomorrow. But we'll be back Wednesday 100%. That is a given. I'm going to go off, enjoy dinner, and job done. Target would be the support for me. 4,065.80, that's what I'm going to keep it running to. 4,060, yeah, around that level. 4,066. And I'm going to go off and enjoy dinner. I've got a lot of work to do still. I've got to upload all this stuff. But my members, give me time. I'm not sure if I'll even get it done today, but I'll try. Guys, 2 from 2. Gold W by 2 again today, same as last Thursday. And that takes stream record up to 134. Great work, guys. All right, have a good one, guys. Trade safe, don't do anything stupid. Catch you probably tomorrow. All the best to you. Well done today, team. Smashed it, killed it. Till tomorrow, have a good one. Bye for now. Cheers, guys.